Hi, thanks for this opportunity to share my insights on what it takes to lead in the digital age or digital world. Today, the increasing volatility, uncertainty, complexity and ambiguity of the business environment requires leaders to be able to demonstrate a different set of competencies, which include creativity, critical thinking, or what we call cognitive readiness, which include critical thinking and emotional and social intelligence, to be able to solve many of the problems or challenges that is being created as a result of the digital revolution. And what does it mean? Effectively, leaders need to look at things, what we call the 7 cognitive readiness competency leaders of the future. Number 1 is about ability to challenge our mental model, or we call metacognition. We need to continuously ask ourselves, what get us here will not get us there. So in other words, things that we have been accustomed to doing, we need to start reassessing and asking the question, what do we need to do differently? And that brings to the subject of what we call the skill of creative thinking. Now, creative thinking is different from what we call creative thinking, which is simply defined as, think out of the box. Critical thinking is the ability to look at information and understand the implication in making business decisions to resolve challenges that's resulting from this digital world, or we call the VUCA world, which is, digital world is manifested by the volatility of the market, the uncertainty, the complexity and ambiguity, so VUCA. So this is created what we call the disruption in the economy, where you see a lot of innovative new organizations, like, of course, the largest transportation company in the world today, it doesn't own any vehicle, which is, of course, the Uber. And the largest accommodation company in the world doesn't own any hotels, which is, of course, Airbnb. And the largest digital media content platform doesn't own any content, which is Facebook. So what we have seen is that leaders need to think differently, and looking at all these skills and competency, including emotional and social intelligence. In 1993, I was interviewed in the National University of Singapore magazine, asking me what it takes to succeed in the future. That was about 4 years ago, and I talked about the need to lead with love, emotional intelligence, social intelligence. Interestingly, Jack Ma, in early this year in Canada at the Gateway 2017, he also said the same thing, exactly the same thing. He said we need to have LQ, means love quotient, not just EQ, not just SQ, social quotient, not just AQ, adversity quotient, but leaders of the future need to demonstrate a high empathy, build social intelligence, build relationship to be able to help the organization maneuver to the next level. So Jack Ma, who is the founder of Alibaba, as you know, is an example of a leader of the future who is able to transform an organization that's simply the largest platform for consumer to consumer, C2C. It doesn't own any logistics, doesn't own any physical inventory. And what they do is they bring people together, bring consumers together. So that is another example of organization and that has thrived in the digital world. What else do you need to succeed? And the other thing, what we call at CEE, Center for Executive Education, we talk about leaping in the VUCA world or leaping in the digital world. You need to first, as I said earlier, you need to have liberal thinking, meaning L stands for liberal thinking, your creative thinking, challenging your mindset. E stands for you need to have envision the future, you need to have energize your team to bring about to the next level. Because of the complexity, ambiguity, volatility, create a lot of confusion, people need to be energized to be able to bring them back to the next level. Then A is all about adversity, about agility. How do you learn, unlearn, relearn? Forget about what you have learned in the past. Learn the new technology, new way of doing things. And P stands for partnership, L-E-A-P. P, partnership, basically internally, within your colleagues, within your staff, and within the organization. It's important to learn to work together, collaborate, and that is important. And work with partners, and even to the extent working with competitors, co-opetition. How can we learn and leverage the strength of each organization to be able to bring about the new way of working? So it's not about just what makes you great as individual, as organization. How can we, as a community, collectively, how can we leverage that collective power, the collective wisdom to be able to bring the industry, your organization and the industry and the economy as a country to the next level. So generally, the future is bright. Now, a lot of people talk about which I will talk about in the presentation shortly later, about the doom and gloom of the digital economy. There are a lot of opportunity from nanotechnology, from artificial intelligence application in biotechnology, in manufacturing, in supercomputing technology in logistics, for example, drones, and how technology is being used in logistics. And interestingly, of course, manufacturing. Robots is going to replace many of the repetitive tasks, but that does not mean that we cannot exist. We need to look at the industrial Revolution 4.0, which basically the WDF, Klaus Schwab talk about how physical, cyber, and biotechnology come together to be able to transform the manufacturing, the way we deliver our services, the way we transform the economy of the future. And that requires a confluence, a integration of the different aspects of the macro environmental factors. So what's the role of leader? To conclude, the role of leader is to be able to discern all these challenges, bring together, make sense of it. What does it mean for my organization? What does it mean for my team? What do I need to do differently? How do I transform my organization? How do I be able to make it a sustainable competitive advantage? Remember, at the end of the day, it's the people that matter, not technology. It's the people who makes things happen. So put your people, your leadership team, your staff ahead of the process and the technology. Technology is only an enabler, and that's something that is important to remember, that the future lies in you, the future leaders. The future lies in your people, not on the equipment, not on the technology, not on the robot. These are all merely enabler of success in the future. Thank you.